concerns and just get together and help support our student athletes here. There's quite a few people to thank. Of course, I'm not going to do it as individuals, but whenever you put on any type of sporting event or athletic event, there's a lot of people that need to be involved and help out. You've got people who take tickets and football games and hall monitor and basketball games and just people who help out on the sidelines or on the bench to keep a clock, all these things. And I just would really like to thank you right now for taking your time and helping us out. We greatly appreciate that, so thank you. And I'm sure as the coaches stand up, they'll be here thanking a lot of individuals also. We really do appreciate all the support that our athletes had this year and all the activities they did. It's really nice to have good crowds out there supporting these kids. They put a lot of hard work and time and effort into these events and activities, and it's great that we can support them with a lot of positive attitudes and things like that. So again, thank you for that. Okay, we'll get started with coaches. Our first coach will be introducing the cheerleaders this year, and coach has been coaching for a long time, quite a long time, many years. We're talking, I'm sure it's a couple decades now. She has that highlight in her hair, so the gray hair is not showing. But she's been around since the skirts were. Anyway, here's Marlene Crump, the cheerleader.
Thanks, Jay. I think Laris assures me I have not coached a long time. Laris has coached a long time. I want to thank the board and administration for all their support whenever we need something or ask for something. They listen and give suggestions and help, and I thank you for that. Rob, I want to thank you for a great season. Your overtime game was exciting at Forsyth, and we loved it. And it was fun traveling with you. We had some interesting experiences. Thank you for that. Jim, your overtime game was exciting also in the playoffs. We enjoyed the football season tremendously. Thank you for letting us be a part of that. I want to call the girls up, and I'll talk about them as I call them up. First one, Kelly Martin. She went off for cross country, got an injury, wasn't able to run or jump, so I said, well, how about standing on the sidelines and yelling, because I knew she could do that quite well. And so she helped us out this fall doing sideline cheers in football. So thank you, Kelly. Next one, Lindsay Huck. Lindsay's skills are excellent. She's done a good job cheering. She started off this summer with the dance and kind of was in charge, not in charge, but ahead of the dance. We put her in a key spot when we went to camp to compete and did a very good job. Raven Cleveland. Raven's injured right now. I think she possibly has a cracked tailbone, so she's walking very gingerly and cheering even more gingerly. Raven is excellent in stunting as a top, except when we dropped her, and that's how we got the cracked tailbone. But her skills are there, and she's doing a great job. Jennifer Moreau. Jennifer earned a letter. Jennifer, I couldn't wait to get her into cheering. She's so quiet and so easygoing, and she just doesn't strike a person as a cheerleader. But she has really put forth the skill and come through and is doing an excellent job. Alicia Aldrich. Alicia, she's the rebel on the team. She's the one that keeps me on my toes and lets me know when I don't do things right, and she just really loves to get my goat. She does earn a letter. She helps us with the leadership on the squad and does a good job. Lindy Schultz. Lindy is my only returning letter person. far. When we started off this year, I was really nervous because, as you can see, I had all brand new girls and one returning, and we worked hard all summer. And at this point, actually, when we headed into fall season, it was like these girls had been here forever. 4 freshmen made me really nervous, and I've learned to adjust to freshmen. I've kind of forgotten what it was like, and they're turning out to be pretty neat people. And so we've had a fun season. We're heading into a very busy season next season. One of our weeks in January, we cheer 4 days. One of those days we have to split for 2 events, and we have practice the other 2 days. So the girls are really going to be busy this next season. I think they're looking forward to it. I also have an academic All-State Award to give, Raven Cleveland. Raven, during her fall cheerleading, had a 3.6 grade average. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, girls.
Thanks, Marlene. And thank you, cheerleaders. They do a terrific job out there supporting the athletes. And on this academic all-state award that our athletes are getting, they must maintain a 3.5 GPA during the course of their sports for that whole quarter. And we did have several this year in all sports. So that's quite an honor also. Okay, next on our list is the another 2-decade coach. He's not 3 decades, excuse me. But he's the kind that he's not concerned about his gray hair. In fact, he kind of fits well with him on that, works well with it. But Mike Smith and cross country.
Thank you, Jay. First of all, I want you to recognize that they divided the table into the younger and the more mature members. Coaching staff. Nice guess. I'd like to begin by taking care of some unfinished business from last spring. I would like the following people to please stand up. Nate Joseph, Willie Davison, Chris Reynolds, Jeremy Sherman, Brandon Balzer, and Jason Spata if he's here. Stand up, please. The state track and field meet, stay up guys, I'm not done. The state track and field meet takes place after the spring banquet. So the results from that, I know you guys probably follow that and are aware of how well we did. But just in case you had forgotten, starting with Brandon Balzer. Brandon placed 5th in state in the pole vault, an outstanding achievement, did a great job. Willie Davison was 6th in the 300 hurdles, 6th in the 110 hurdles, and was also on the 6th place sprint relay team. Great job, Willie. I'd like to begin the introductions and start with my outstanding assistant coach, Coach Laura Selman. Come on up, please. She's a little shy. Okay, I would like to begin with the participatory awards. Starting with the freshmen, by the way, we had a great supporting cast. These guys did a good job. And you're going to see their names in the future. A lot of course, not the seniors, unfortunately. Starting with my freshmen. Freshman manager, Donna Reichmeyer. Freshman manager, Alicia Varela. And Alicia Castor. Come forward, please. Junior athlete. Although I'm sure if she didn't have to suffer through her bouts with asthma, I'm sure she would have been a letter winner this year. Autumn Whitman, please come forward. And our seniors. Senior manager, Lacey Horton. Heather Black and Hope Reitmeyer. Past letter winners and team leaders, all of them, please come forward, girls. And now the letter winners. I don't say a whole lot about underclassmen, but I would be remiss if I didn't say something about the freshman group this year. I'll say we were a great bunch of runners. They did an outstanding job, and all of them have an outstanding future ahead of them in cross country. Rachel Whitman. Okay, placing the top 25 in state, which is a great performance for a freshman, Becky Eisdale. And our number one runner for much of the year, placing 16th in state, which is only one place out of all state, Kristen Miller. Sophomores. First young lady, this is her first year in cross country. Once she learned something about the sport, she did very well in it. Qualifying for the state team, Amanda Breitbach. And the seniors. This is the largest and most talented group of seniors I've ever coached. I'm extremely proud of them, and they will be sorely missed. Starting with the senior manager, her second year as a manager, Ophelia Dominic. Number one runner from last year, had kind of an injury-plagued season. However, she had a great cross-country career, and she was definitely one of our team leaders, Fernanda Adame. Another quality runner, plagued once again by injury. It's going to sound like a broken record here. Also had a great season, or a great career in cross-country, Christy Ekstrom. Next young lady, I think, was more focused this year than I have ever seen her. She ran determined races all year long, and I believe this was her best year. Amber Harry. Got a lot of guts. Good thing too, right? Our top mileage runner for the season. She ran over 200 miles this year of road work. An outstanding runner with a big heart. I tell you, she once again had a nagging injury pretty much all season long to slow her down some. But she was a big part of our success this year, Renee Lee. And our last senior. This year, she really proved that hard work and dedication will bring results, and they definitely did for Naomi. She had a great season. She battled Kristen off and on all year for the number one spot on the team. Naomi Whitman. My academic all-state winners with a 3.7 grade point average, Rachel Whitman. Grade point average, Naomi Whitman. Uh, 3.7 grade point average, Christy Ekstrom. Another 3.7, Becky Eisdale. would like you all sit down except the seniors, please. Seniors stay up there for a moment. Everyone else may sit down. Thank you. Now, finally, this is my last chance to say thank you to this group of girls. As I said earlier, this is an outstanding bunch of young ladies, and I'm extremely proud of them. They were in the top 10 at state cross country 4 times. Of course, the highlight was 2 years ago, our second place finish at state. Trust me, the Community of Huntley Project was well represented by these kids, and I want to thank them for allowing me to coach them. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Andy. I love it. I tell him Thanks, Coach.
All that joking about my old age and I'm embarrassed, I forgot something that's very important. Wendy, would you please come up here?
It was really nice. Mike, you deserve it. Again, that's great. Okay, on to girls basketball. And Coach Durant and his girls basketball team who performed very, very well at our district tournament. And they had a very good year, So, Coach Durant, you're on.
Well, we've had a lot of firsts this year, and one of the first things that I can say is that our girls, I've never lost so many uniforms or misplaced by so many. Most of those, I think, from the younger kids. I also got my first technical. I've never get technicals, but I learned that on my assistant coaches. That's the only way I got past the buck by someone. We've also beat, in tournament, I think it was one of the highlights because we won a game in tournament. We beat Baker, who was last year's state champion, and we had to do that in double overtime. So that was a great tribute to those girls doing that. As far as my thanks go, first of all, my wife for keeping books, and as most of you know, I have 2 girls playing, so she had to be the mediator in that house. My 2 assistants, Coach Rager and Coach Pierce, of course, administrators for their support and encouragements, bus drivers who get us there safely to each of those games, Flip and Marvy, our clock personnel, cheerleaders, and Ms. Crum. It was great, and a lot of fun on the bus. And Chris Hudson, I think, who was probably our #1 fan. She always had to bring this mannequin up there, and it was a lot of fun doing that. First, I'd like to have my assistant coach, Coach Rager, come on up. We have a few awards to give out. First of all, we have a crop of freshmen. I would say about 5 who will receive their letter. First time, Lauren Stroman, a freshman. Okay, Stephanie McNiven. Smith has it easy. I mean, his assistant's already broken in, so. We know this one? Listen. Melissa Cooper. Okay, now we also had, we have 3 managers that earned their first letter. Lindsay Huntley, and Margarita Dawson. So in this conference, we're really fortunate to have young players. One of our nomination all-star players this year came from Roundup. She was a freshman, so she was lucky to get to that level. And we're finding out that there's a lot of young players getting some good basketball experience in this league. And this league is very, very young. And we have some of those players. Although yet, as of last week, we don't know who all conference was because Roundup was still in the state tournament. Okay, now receiving their bar, Kristen Nira. Andrew Aldridge. Laura Rosebley. Nicole Smith. Shauna Mira. Amanda Leitner. Leslie Kinchlow. And Brady. Okay, I'll try to quickly finish this up. Dallas Cowboys are playing Monday night game, so I'd like to get there, and I can't take too long to do this. Okay, each year I present about 4 awards, and most of these awards are voted by the players and coaching staff. And I'll start with our best defensive player. Voted this year goes to J.D. Eaton. J.D. Eaton probably got some of the quickest hands, but she also gets caught a lot of times. But they are quick at times. Okay, best offensive goes to Kristen Ira. Okay, then we have most improved, and I want to say something about this. This girl had a hard time with the free throws, but during our overtime game, all she did was look at me and go, "Why me?" Well, she goes out there and makes 5 out of 6, and she was voted most improved, Shauna Nira. Okay, then I have an award that I give out personally, and I talk with coaches, and it's what I call a star award. You have to do well in the classroom, you got to do well on the court, and that star award went to Kristen Nira. Most proud of all, I am at their academic achievements towards the end of the year. We have 14 players, and 12 out of those 14 players received 3.0 or better. But MHSA gives certificates to 3.5 or better GPA, and we'll start out with J.D. Eaton at 3.7. Amanda Lechner with 3.5. Kristen Nira with a 4.0. 107. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting these girls. This is our 1997 girls basketball team. One last thing I'd like to say is that be competitive in this league, participate, stay active, and got to do something, ladies, because next year it's another year to go around. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob, and congratulations to the girls and Coach Durant for a very fine season this past year. Okay, right down the bottom of the list here, our football team and Coach Jim Stanton.
Thank you. First of all, just like everybody else, I'd really like to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. A special thanks would go out to the Booster Club for the nice meal that they put together each time. Also to our our school personnel, our support group, our administrators and board members. They really do a good job of supporting the kids. A lot of behind the scenes support, and I really appreciate it. It makes our job, it really couldn't be done without their constant support. Preparing for a game, it'd be nice just to show up there and play, but there's a lot of preparation that goes in, and you got to get somebody to run the clock, and Gene Hammett's done that for years, and the chain guys, Harvey and Jim and Cliff. Rick Knisley, now that he's retired, I guess he's taken it upon himself to do up the field every week, so that really takes a burden off of us and helps us out. The grass is always growing, so they're cutting it, mowing it down in between painting, and it can become hectic and it's a mess, and we're fortunate to have the support of those individuals, as well as our announcer Taylor Brown, who did a really good job and really brought a lot to our ball games, and so a special thanks to them and our band and our cheerleaders just for helping us. It's a lot of effort just to get to the game. Also, I'd really like to thank some of the parents for putting on that potluck, and Donna and the mothers. That was really special. It's something that we need to have, and it really brings us together, and we thank you for that. Again, just reflecting, talking about a couple things before we get into some awards here. I really like to thank the coaching staff. Boy, it just can't be done by one person, and we're just really lucky and fortunate to have some individuals that put in a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifices from their own families to give to these kids, and we can't do it with just one or two people. It takes a whole group of individuals. So I would really like to thank Coach Dees, Coach Selman over in there trying to hide Mr. Mom, okay, and Coach Sandy for just the time and dedication they put in, because it just couldn't be done by one person. In fact, we were talking earlier, Coach Dees and Coach Selman put in over 20 games with the JV and the freshmen and the varsity. And in fact, one of them spent 5 weekends at a ball game in Roundup. So, I mean, whether it was the JV or the varsity or scouting or whatever. So it's a lot of time. They enjoy doing it. I can't thank them enough for what they do. And their families, too. Their families have to endure a lot, and I know mine does, and that's special thanks to them for competing for VCRs and time. And it really, really nice to have that support as well. Last group I'd like to thank is the community and parents, because, without your support, I think a lot of this wouldn't have been possible. We do have a fine group of athletes, but I think the comments that I cherish the most, and the thing that makes me feel most proud is, coming at, after the game, win, lose, or draw, and community members from all the different opponents we play, really speaking highly of our kids' sportsmanship, their attitude, their class, and so they represent the school real well. They represent the community real well, and I think that's a reflection on their upbringing, as well as the missions and goals of the school. I think you guys need to be congratulated for what you do with your kids, and also we really enjoy working with it. This is a special group of kids. Every year we have a good group, but this group was something special. We were just real fortunate again to have just a good quality of individuals. Quickly, before we get into some individual awards, You know, we finished out the season third in our league in the beginning. Initially, we were kind of disappointed with that, but as the playoffs developed, we started to realize that third in our league was really quite an accomplishment. You know, there's out of our league, 3 of the 8 teams, you know, three teams out of our league made the top 8, and we really would have matched up just about with anybody. We'd never been embarrassed, and we felt that we could have played just about on any level within the state. So these kids have come a long ways. They've dedicated themselves, and I'd just like to compliment them on that. If anything we learned this year, and I know what I've learned, and we always hear the saying of Yogi Bear, it's not over till it's over, and boy, that really holds true, and it's something that, you know, we can look as a staff and think about that as we coach. It's something that these kids can take with them, that nothing's over until it is over, and we lost 3 real close games in the last few seconds, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes, and if we can learn a little from that, then maybe it was all worth it. We'll hand out the participation awards. Here's the participation awards, and I'll have you come up and get them. They should all be in order. Sarah Jo Johnson and Jessica Hammond, you here today? No? And Mike Becker for their managing and videotaping and did a real good job at keeping us lined out and keeping everything organized. Participation awards go out to these individuals: Austin Fisher, Tyler McIlvain, Bert Allen, J.R. Reed, Mark Vogel, Chris Reed, Nick Knickerbocker, Cody Lindstrom, Adam Morrison, Booty, leave it at that, Randy Farragon. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry, Booty. Robert Conklin, John Capra, Jesse Lofter, Justin Jennis, and Dane Piber. This group, mainly of freshmen, came out every day, and you know, in football it does take more than just 11, 12 guys. You got to have somebody to practice with, and somebody to, you know, we try to motivate these kids and give them some incentives to come out there and give us real good looks on our scout team, and we call it paying their dues, and a lot of the kids that are getting the awards that are coming up paid their dues for a lot of years, and they really do a fine job there. We couldn't do it. We couldn't have the success we had without their support. Okay, thank you guys. Hey. You guys got me nervous. First year non-senior letter winners this year, would you please come forward? Clint Simpson, Matt Vogel, Doug Oltroge, Cody Hofer, Joey Conklin, Andy Reynolds, Brad Halverson, Gavin Lennon, Justin Hine, and Brandon Ewan. Within this group, we had some team leaders. It seems like every year, you know, some people really step up, surprises, nice surprises. Andy Reynolds, being our 4th leading tackler, coming in halfway through the season, got 70 tackles. Clint Simpson and Joey Conklin led the team in sacks, and so we're real lucky to have this group coming back next year, and they did a real nice job. Congratulations. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
You guys need bars too?
Yeah. The next group are non-senior letter winners. Would you please come forward? And this would be the 3rd time for these 3 or 4 individuals of earning a varsity letter: Willie Davison, Kevin Morales, Bruce Hepner, and Derek Deckert. These 4, this will be their third letter. Also earning their 2nd letter would be Austin Harrison, Jeremy Sherman, and Joe Trottier. Would you please come forward? And we can't forget, we got Randy up here. Randy? And Randy Walter. I didn't forget you. Within this group, we had a lot of team leaders, and I'll just relay a few statistics that these individuals received. Willie Davison was our second leading rusher, 614 yards. He was also first in receiving with 20 catches, and he made some big-time catches. Also in this group, Kevin Morales passed for the second consecutive year over 1,000 yards. He had 11 TDs in passing, and that's 32 in 2 seasons. That's remarkable. He has 32 touchdown passes throwing in just 2 seasons. Bruce Hepner was our second leading tackler this year and also led the team in interceptions, 73 tackles. Randy was our leading rusher, 1,273 yards. He also was our second leading receiver. And in addition to that, which is a remarkable statistic, and we're checking to see some records and putting some records together, but he contributed 27 touchdowns, and that's remarkable. 6 in 1 game against Shepherd. Derek Decker was our team leader. He's led the team at third with 71 tackles. He also had a nose for the football, coming up with 4 fumble recoveries. So this group did an outstanding job, and we're just real lucky to have a good group coming back like this. Thank you. The last group I'd like to have come forward are the seniors, and we initially in the beginning of the year we looked down the list and we didn't have a lot of experience with our seniors, and there's something about the finality, your last chance to compete, that really brings out the best in people, and especially the true competitors. And we had some kids that maybe we didn't, were just real big surprises for us, that stepped up and did a fantastic job throughout the season, contribute, and we had a group of 9 seniors that did just that. Chris Reynolds, would you come forward and get your letter? Chris really had some bad luck. He didn't really get started. He hurt his knee and had some surgery on it, so we really missed not having him around. Neil Oltrogi. Neil Oltrogi was a leader in tackles, and as a defensive tackle to get 101 tackles and be your leader really shows his aggressiveness, and he did a real nice job for 2 and 3 year starter. We're really going to miss having him around. Ryan Ronan. If we were to give Most Improved Award, I think Ryan and some of our young linemen, Joe, would really be up for that. We had put up a lot of statistics offensively, put a lot of points on the board, and had a lot of yards, and we had some inexperienced kids really step up and do a nice job. Cade Butch, would you come forward, please? We moved Cade. Cade wanted to catch the ball and run with it and score and do all those things, but we told him that we needed some guys down on the line, and he volunteered, and he stepped into probably the toughest position I feel on our offense, and that's offensive guard, and he did an excellent job, and again contributed a lot to our success. Art Moreau. Art led the team. He was the third leader in receptions. He had some real big plays throughout the year, always came up with a big catch when we needed it. 2-way starter, was one of our leaders on defense as well. We really miss Art. Nate Joseph. Nate was our third leading rusher with 600 yards. We had real good balance when you have, and I think we'd really like to compliment the team on that. We have three positions out of our running backs, and never once did anybody complain about who's getting the ball or how come somebody's running it more than the other. That's just a total team effort, and that's what we needed to be successful. And he finished the season with 600 yards. Our 2 outside runners actually equaled the amounts of our inside runners. So that was real good balance. He's going to be tough to replace, and as you noticed in some games, he was real tough to bring down. Defensively, he was leader as well. Travis Gable. Travis is, I think, and if I could compliment him, it would be, for some of you younger guys, here's an example of an individual really sticking it out, paying their dues, working hard, going to lift, going to practice and work hard. And his senior year finally came up, and he really excelled. He was one of our leaders on defense and contributed on the offensive blocking as well. So Travis did a real nice job this year. He was fifth team leader in tackles with 68. Brandon Balzer, would you come forward, please? Okay, Brandon was our second leading receiver. He did an excellent job. Real coachable kid, made some big catches when we needed them. Just filled in anywhere, kicked, on special teams, wherever we needed him, he did a job and did it real well. Rick Schauer, is he here today? Rick moved on the project last year, so he really, this is his first year in our system. He did a good job on special teams. These are the types of kids we need in our program that work hard every day and push each other, and he contributed on our offensive line. Last couple ones here, Nick Conklin, would you come forward? Nick put in four hard years with us and showed up just about every day for practice, had things ready, always seemed to get the job done, and we never had to worry too much about anything, and so we're really going to miss what he's done for us over the last couple of years. He could always tell if the kids were working, and he'd come back and relay it to the coaches depending on how much water they drink. So I always thought that was a good analysis. Jennifer Johannes, is she here today? She also helped out senior. She's not here. Okay. Okay, this is a group we're going to miss. We've got a lot of big shoes to fill, and good luck to these guys. Lastly, we're going to go through some awards. These awards are on the conference level, and it seems like a lot of our backs and quarterbacks get a lot of the pickings on these, but really I can't emphasize enough the way we try to teach the team aspect, and that's one of the reasons maybe we try to get away with some individual awards and don't have a lot of awards. We had a real good group of defensive players that don't get a lot of recognition, but we can just about guarantee they're going to come through with big plays for us. Offensive line, we had 2 returners. We had 3 guys that we didn't know if they could play. They didn't know if they could play, and they just worked hard every day to get better. And our 3 guys are our offensive linemen, Derek Decker, Cade Butch at guards, and Neil at center, and our 2 tackles, Joey Trottier and Ryan Rowan, did an outstanding job of springing these statistics, and really that's kind of what they look at in a lot of these voting procedures. Honorable mention, all conference, is voted on by the 3B coaches, would be Andy Reynolds at linebacker, Art Moreau at tight end, defensive end, and Brandon Balzer at wide receiver. Second team all conference, we got 4 chosen this year at linebacker. I kind of had the fudge on your way a little bit, Bruce. Bruce Hepner, linebacker, outside linebacker, did a real good job, second team all-conference linebacker. Joey Conklin, second team defensive tackle. Travis Gable, second team outside linebacker. And Wooly Davison, second team punter, defensive back, and running back. So good job, fellas. First team all-conference, again, We're pretty fortunate. We got some good kids here, and again, we could have had more. Nate Joseph at running back, defensive back. And second consecutive year, Kevin Morales at quarterback. Second consecutive year, Derek Deckard, defensive end and offensive line. And second year, Neil Oltroge at center and defensive line. And lastly, Randy Walter. They didn't know who this kid was at the beginning of the year. They sure found out in a hurry. Running back, defensive back, and return specialist. Incidentally, Nate and Neil will be playing in the Class B All-Star game in Billings this early summer. They were selected by our conference to represent our league. And so we have two real fine candidates that will represent our school well. And that's the All-Star game in June. A couple more awards. We give out a Lewis Murray Memorial Award, and it's voted on by the coaches. The award is based upon leadership, it's based upon coachability, hard work, it's based upon academics, and it's just given to somebody maybe who doesn't excel to the point where his name's in the paper every week, but is there every day, takes on any position you give him, and just wants to win and wants to play hard. And this year the coaches voted on Brandon Balzer. Yeah, but you still got to get the engravement set.
This is it here?
Yeah. We have another individual award which was voted on by the team members, and it's to choose a team captain. And this year, without a doubt, the kids chose and overwhelmingly chose Neil Oltroge. Just about through. We have a few more all-state awards. We're pretty fortunate now. We're starting to get some kids into that direction. Academic all-state. We had two individuals, Willie Davison 4.0 and Brandon Balzer 4.0. And lastly, All-State Football Awards. It's quite an honor. Like I said, we've been getting kids more and more each year involved and elected to those positions. And this year was voted on by the coaches in our league. And Randy Walters, running back, defensive back. And also Derek Deckard at lineman. And Neil Oltroge at center, defensive tackle. Have room for error, but missed one on the academic all-state, and that was Brandon Ewan. Would you please come forward? Just give them that and tell them we'll get them one. Just give them that, they didn't give us an extra one. Just give them that and we'll get them one. Just make it look good. Short one, but I guess I'd just like to, in closing, thank everybody for coming out. Thanks to your parents for letting us use your kids for the season. To me, it was one of my most special memories in coaching. I think, again, the quality that's out there, not in terms of the athletic ability, but just in the nature of the kids. Again, all the positive comments, to me, that represents a lot more than any win or loss. That represents what we're trying to do here with our program as well as the missions of the school. And I just, again, like to thank you for one more great year and really looking forward to continued success. Thank you.
Okay, before you head out, a couple other things.
How long was I?
I forgot
I was
to introduce you after some of you. The first group that lined up here,
Was it?
these are yours, so come up and get them after this thing here. Okay, I just too nervous. That's from the assistant coach. At this time, I'd like to have Dick Cancer would like to come up here and talk about the new bleachers that we're trying to get for our football field. Dick Cancer.
Thank you. I'm not going to take much time. I realize the hour and everything else. Many of you probably got this sheet of paper with showing the new bleachers, the cost, etc. If you didn't, I've got some over here and you can pick them up on the way out. Off to my right is an idea of what the bleachers are going to look like. This is not quite right. It's just an idea. But we had a meeting on the 26th of November. I was out there at football games at different times, and I saw the inadequate bleachers we do have. There are about 6, 8 people on the sidelines, and I thought somebody would like to sit maybe. So our thinking is to take and have a set of bleachers that will be all aluminum, which we take no maintenance or anything like that. They're approximately 55 foot wide, and they'll be 17 foot high. There'll be 15 rows, which will put us up pretty high. I imagine pretty close to the crow's nest up there, and that's a beautiful place to watch a game from too, by the way. Anyway, any questions you've got after this is over with, please, I'll stay in the corner and wait for you. We can talk about it. We have another committee meeting on the 22nd of December. Who's on this main committee? We've got self-appointed. It was Taylor Brown and I, Superintendent Rusk and Stan Brown on the board. They said they have no money, so I guess we've got to raise it all ourselves, and I think we can do it. We're then going to have a big kickoff on the 14th of January. Well, but anyway, 14th of January, and we would like to see all of you here. We're going to try to raise the money right here locally through merchants, donations, private donations, etc. I think it's very feasible. The cost is going to be between $25,000 and $35,000. And I think it's easy enough. The seating will be for 500 people. And from looking at the statistics on how many people are there, you can easily see them right now. In the future, if we need more, you can add 250 on the side or something like that in the future. But right now, this is all we need. And even before we started, we've already got over $1,000 in donations. So we're on our way, and we haven't done anything yet. So I hope you all will come back, come to that meeting on January 14th, and we'll talk this over and get kicked off and see if we can get donations, but I'll talk to everybody. We will have some prizes and things like that for money and so on and so forth. But right at the present time, we're just in a planning stage, and we hope that we can get it all in by possibly May, so we can get building on it this June and have it ready for fall. There's over 3 companies that make these aluminum stands, and we're getting bids from right now. So I hope you all take an interest in it and show up for 14. That's all I had. I'll let you go home. If you want any questions, come over and see me. Thank you.
One last item. I've got to plug in was this Project Wrestling AU Club, this beautiful red double blanket here. It's $40. There's about 70 that are available now. If you're interested in this, call Jamie McElveen or Connie Kemper. We'll be able to help you out. Okay? Thanks again for showing up, and thank you for